Hey guys, today I wanted to talk a little bit about EMD. That's been coming up. I've gotten a few questions on it, and then I've gotten a few consultee cases um, where we've talked about the potential use of it. EMD is well, what EMDR was before we added the R. It was a really specific desensitization protocol, and primarily desensitization only. And so we've adapted since and allowed now clients to wander and then have generalization effects. And this way they can actually go through all of those channels, associated channels of the trauma, which is the majority of the time, I'd say high 90% of the time, what we need to do. EMD still comes into play almost exclusively within the recent events protocol, occasionally outside of it. EMD is used for sensory specific details. So I can't stop hearing the screams. I can't stop seeing their face. I can't stop smelling the smoke. I can't stop tasting that taste that was in my mouth at the time. I can't stop feeling um, like something's on my skin. When that is the primary piece of the trauma that you're going into reprocess, we're going to start with EMD. When that is just component, like when we're assessing for the image or the sense, then it'll reprocess just fine with EMDR. EMD though is when it's almost perseverative on the sensory detail, which again is why we often see it in the recent events protocol, because due to the lack of the consolidation of the memory, we have these specific pieces that stand out in such a way that traumas that happened a little bit longer ago than maybe that 3 to 6 months don't have, where they all blend a little bit more. And the smell might come up multiple times throughout, but it's not that overwhelming piece. Okay, so as far as EMD goes, what we're going to do is take the sensory detail. So take the smell. What's the SUD? Notice. All right, we do a full fast set, come back through. What do you get? Okay, take the smell, take the SUD, notice. Smell, SUD, notice. Smell, SUD, notice. We're essentially just beating that down until we can get it to ecological validity, usually. I'd take a set of 2 or 3 on that, and then we can move on to the rest of the memory. All right. So as you can see too, there's no wandering, there's no outside connections, there's no extended generalization, which is why we don't do this all the time, because we would be working forever on one memory, essentially. So generally we're using it within the recent events protocol, but on occasion, we can use it on its own. On occasion, when people pull up a memory, I worked with a consultee the other day and they said they couldn't stop seeing an image of the memory. That was really that was taking over the entire scene, even though this had happened decades prior. In that instance, if they couldn't get to anything else, I would use EMD until we could get that image down, and then I would go back to the memory and do the full standard. Generally, again, just in the recent events, if there's a sensory detail, but occasionally we'll use it elsewhere. It's completely focused, there's no generalization, and you reassess for the sensory detail and the SUD each set. All right. Have a good one, everyone.